Well, hello everyone. Thank you, Shasha, for inviting me to your beautiful summit, your Lightbearer Summit series, and the top 10 secrets to magnetize unwavering abundance and how to ease the burden of everyday life. You know, the fantastic, crazy thing is that we are already abundant, but I don't think many realize that we are. As embodied spirits, we can create harmony and balance within ourselves, and we can ease that so-called burden of everyday life. If you truly understand that life is for you and that those hardships, hassles, or even those small annoyances had an ultimate purpose, would you be different? Would your perspective be different? I'm not talking about having the answers already carved out for you. Your work on this planet is not meant to be easy. And it's not the easy street. That's being in your comfort zone. And change isn't especially that way. I used to be in my comfort zone, naive, shy, and I was constantly being pushed to get beyond that by my mother, bless her heart, my lifelong friend, having 2 kids, and life itself. To be honest, I didn't like it much. Nervous about talking to people, afraid to try new things. Over 22 years ago, my physical body said, enough of that comfort zone. Sarcoidosis in my lungs came about, and off I went in another direction of eating raw food for a couple of years, and my body sighed with relief, as I believe my soul and spirit did too. New people, new understanding, joining flight school 10 years ago now, and really diving into the unknown. Was it challenging? Oh, heck yes. And now I'm here, still facing challenges, but loving life much more, feeling more appreciation for each day, new understandings, as I am guided to listen to this or watch that or speak to someone and be delighted in the outcome. And not to mention laughing at myself and not taking myself so seriously. That is where the joy comes in. What are burdens of everyday life? Stress, work, not knowing what to do? For some of us, it's poor health and dealing with the exaggerations or the false claims of the food and the drug industry. For others, it's part of the awakening process, tapping into those potentials of possibilities, our own power, and the doubts and the confusions that come, well, all of this and all of the above. And what can we do about it? Lots. There's lots we can do. And there are many speakers on Jaja's Summit that are giving you some wonderful alternatives to maybe what you're doing or maybe what you've tried. So I invite you to listen to the others as well. Something else to remember is that as light beings, a spirit in a body, and we as a multidimensional being visiting planet Terra, otherwise known as Gaia, over and over again, we are not separate from God, the universe, Allah, or whatever name you give Creator Source. I think that's part of the work we're doing here, to remember we are part of the universal ordinance, the foundation or network of the cosmoses working together. We have very old conditionings and an overzealous ego controlling us, and it's time to let that go. As part of the universal network, we are being bombarded with cosmic currents that unsettle us, and yet they help us evolve. And that's part of the universal package that we agreed to when we came onto the Earth plane. This planet is a planet of evolvement. Can we see beyond our 9 to 5 jobs, the lives? Can we create more peace and harmony within ourselves in order to deal with the burdens of everyday life? Remember the Truman movie and that self-contained bubble that he lived in, and what we've lived in for so long? And it takes courage and determination and willpower to look beyond and not follow family or cultural conditionings, especially if they are just burdening us down and not allowing us to be free, these free spirits. And to know sometimes it's not always you. And when you feel off or overburdened, give that back. As I often say, higher levels take command. We are co-creators, and we can co-create peace on earth as we work through our dimensional evolutions, our resurrection, our awakening. And it's not easy. And according to the knowledge book, it's not meant to be easy. There are thorny paths to climb, but we can climb and we can reach that rose or the rose above it or the one above that. How do we reach that peaceful harmony that our essence, heart, soul knows is possible? It starts with us recognizing who we are, not our identities as a mother, daughter, sister, wife, co-worker, brother, husband, son. Put all those on a piece of paper and throw them on the floor, so to speak, and pull them out as you need them, not to be ruled by them. Do you love what you're doing? Do you have a hobby, work, or family? You made the decision to be here in this lifetime. Can you change things? Some things, maybe, maybe not. But there's a lot we can do. Our star family wants us to be happy. And happiness for the Moros is what will be created in the golden age, less than 200 years from now. And what I work on these days is conscious eating, conscious living, making choices where I feel better about my actions for the earth and for my body. A universal rule is do no harm to nature and each other. And that includes ourselves. Where can you do that on a daily basis? One simple example is switching to a soap bar instead of purchasing liquid soap in a plastic bottle. When I learned about the 5 floating garbage masses around the world, I switched over to a soap bar. What can one human out of 8 billion people do to make a difference? It takes 1 drop of water at a time to fill the bucket. It's not impossible. One of my tools is my Rosie's Hope Chest. It's co-creating peace and harmony on earth, 1 day, 1 minute at a time, by sending appreciation to the planet. Beloved Tara, each day. Again, 1 prayer each day is a gift of love, a moment of positivity, appreciation, and joy to start your day, something to put a smile on your face. Rosie is an acronym, remembering our soul spirit's innate expression. And the hope represents humanity's open-hearted, peaceful earth. Can you do this without the hope chest? Of course you can. However, the benefit is that the chest acts as a physical reminder. Plus, those cosmic currents add their input every day. And Tara amplifies all the chests and the coins around the world, electromagnetically amping up the frequency of your love throughout a beautiful tapestry of loving energy to all of humanity. It's taken billions of centuries to get to this point. Your ancestors brought you here, and some had some pretty wretched lives. Life is for you. What steps are you taking to create the positive that you need to take those action steps? You ask for it on a soul level to work through your evolution steps. It's time to ramp up the appreciation in our lives. From each morsel of food, you can raise the frequency of it, and you'll raise the frequency of yourself, all those cells in your body. And these are some quotes that I have from the Knowledge Book, which I've been reading for nearly 5 years. It was a channeled book from Turkey, and it's a book about the Golden Age. And it's a book of knowledge and of a warning as well. Ask yourself, your essence heart, your source of power, for what you need. You have been specially selected as consciousnesses who can easily succeed in every subject in this final age. Do not forget that evolvement does not occur instantly. And do not forget that the resurrecting in your final book is the resurrecting of humans in the direction of consciousness. This means that humans will attain the consciousness of everything, and they will be awakened from their sleep. And we need to have compassion and patience for those who are not yet or just waking up from their sleep. You have not set foot on the world without a reason. Among many of your brothers and sisters, you are the only ones who are past their life examinations. As a necessity of the system, there is an advancement in everything. For you to be able to become you, you were sent to the world because you still had paths to tread. You will both learn lessons from your surroundings, and you will teach lessons. You will comprehend and know that your mission is not only to live and maintain the perpetuation of the generations. You are divine beings, possessing all the universal abilities on behalf of Almighty the Absolute. You are a universe. The world planet is a point in the universe, and a cell in your physical body is also a point in you. Each cell represents your essence universe. When I hear this, I think about the food I'm eating. Is it whole food? Is it fresh? Did I prepare it with love and appreciation for the soil, the biome in the soil, for the farmer, harvesters, the truckers, and the store I bought it from? Or in my own garden, appreciating each veggie or fruit as I harvest it. That alone raises the vibrational frequency of the food you eat, and that in turn raises your frequency, co-creating more harmony and a sense of peace throughout every cell, soul consciousness in your body. Enjoy each day, smile often at everyone, knowing that they are evolving too, and they are awakening, maybe in their own divine timing. Each of us is evolving according to our own capacities and levels of consciousness. Thus, we should not criticize or judge others. This is a time where we can practice our infinite patience, love, tolerance, and forgiveness, yet at the same time, speaking our truths. In other words, at times, setting boundaries of respect. One of the universal laws is respect for the human, respect for nature, and all life upon the planet. Keep in mind, do not beg help from others by presuming yourself incapable. Do not underestimate your power. We are complete, whole, and connected to Source and connected to nature. Absolutely, get help from others until you grasp your own self-power. Others speaking on Jasha Summit have opened up their abilities to guide you through challenges that you may be facing, to ease you through, to help you to take those steps. Some steps to help you along some of these thorny branches to reach the rose. This is where meditation is helpful. Those few minutes of being mindfully present to your spirit soul within. It doesn't need to be long, and everyone can meditate. It can be as little as 3 minutes in a quiet space. No devices, no distractions. I like to stare outside my upstairs office window and catch the clouds, the colors in the sunrise, or the wind rustling the leaves of the maple tree. Then close your eyes to remove that distraction and sit in silence. You don't need to hear voices, reach nirvana, or be spaced out or in a state of bliss. This allows you to tap into your essence heart. And when those voices pop into your quiet head, wave them off with a smile and go back to that centered, quiet space. Keep repeating. Tell your mind that you are doing something new and wonderful. It's okay. I've got this. Look for the beauty and the harmony around you. Feed into that and let your heart open. What is being reflected back to you in your life? Others could be mirrors of what you need to look at within yourself. Don't blame or get mad at yourself. Look at it with a different perspective. Remember, life is for you. It's not happening to you. The choice is to change your perspective. Find the peacefulness in nature. This may sound like basic truth, but do we consider them each day? And sometimes, as I said, it's not all yours. Ask your higher levels to take command with that which is not yours. Part of the collective is that you are immersed in it. And the world affairs, especially if you choose to watch television and the news. It's time to empower ourselves to live in the harmony of nature, which is one of my VIP gifts. And I think you'll enjoy it. And from the plant world, from Anthony William, who's a medical medium, a message about leafy greens. They provide emotional support from life-changing foods by Anthony William. When your body is filled with toxins on a physical level, it can lead to toxic buildup on an emotional level. So many people feel stuck, stagnant, confined, lost, or held back in life. Leafy greens are a way forward. Just as they flush out physical debris, they loosen stored up toxic emotions and guide them out of your life. Adding more leafy greens to your diet can be an incredibly freeing experience, helping you to feel clean and clear again, your rightful state of being. And the spiritual lesson from leafy greens, how many times have you missed a window of opportunity? Time can slip by so fast, and before we know it, the birthday wishes we were sending, a friend that are belated, or we're getting to the beach when the tide is too low to enjoy it. Leafy greens teach us to seize the moment. The short shelf life means the earlier we eat them after they're picked, the better they are for our health. Getting in tune with this awakens us to the other fleeting moments of life, the other opportunities to nourish ourselves on every level, if only we have the presence of mind to recognize what's in front of us. Where can you seize those moments of opportunity in your life, here and now? Nourish yourself with food, friends, nature, and knowing how beautiful you really are, and co-create that peace within that assists the planet and the universe with your divine light. And a few other things I've added to my daily routine that you might find helpful to ease some of your burdens. One is Lu hand patting. It's an ancient Qigong practice that stimulates your lymphatic system, which in turn strengthens your immune system, something we really need today and sort of going on to the future. And I mean, it's a very simple patting with your hands, different parts of your body. And by giving love pats to your body for 2 to 3 minutes each day and becoming totally present to the movement and the breath, you can ease burdens co-create peace and harmony simply by your mindfulness to this practice. My app, Authentic Sacred Design, will have the link for this tapping sequence shortly. Mindfulness breathing, taught by Thich Nhat Hanh in Plum Village and around the world, is another practice I've taken up recently. And even preparing this talk, I stopped every 20 minutes, practiced mindfulness breathing in and breathing out, concentrating on that alone for about a minute. And then I would go back, set the alarm again, and every 20 minutes, do that practice. They would say that the mindfulness seed would sprout with concentration. Insight would join in. And if you were looking at a flower for a minute with the breathing, something would come up that you hadn't thought of before. Put a plant in your office and use that as your nature focus, or look outside your window for a minute without sort of any purpose or focus, and other than the mindfulness breathing of here and now. Try it while brushing your teeth, washing dishes, doing chores, and notice what changes within you. This breathing can also be used when emotions flare up. They says to embrace the emotions in our life, in the store where they're held sort of within us, and acknowledge it. And they're there for a reason. And then see the mindfulness seed, which also is in the store of our being, and hold on to that emotion like a mother lovingly holding and calming her crying baby. This anger will lessen as your compassion rises. If everything is energy, which we know it is, what kind of energy are you sending to yourself and those around you? Take an action step, walk, self-talk, do something simple, pound on a drum, dance to some wild music for a couple of minutes, put Post-it notes around the house, remind you of your magnificence, the divine design that is your default that just needs a few jiggles now and then. If you want a daily inspiration or a quote, visit my app, Authentic Sacred Design, and look for daily thoughts. And a new one comes out every day, and just something to inspire you, to bring that smile to your face. Or maybe it might be just a thoughtful reflection. What do I need to focus on today? And take that throughout your day. And when you're done with it, you just say, thank you. And so I have a poem that I wrote just a couple of years ago, and it's part of my free gift, The Universe Calls, Come Dance With Me, A Journey into Love. And it's a book of poems that took me 10 years to write. And it started with my, awakening journey back in, actually it was 2010, when I wrote the poem Gaia's Song. And it was about connecting with the earth. And that is also in my book. And the free content is the first 23 pages of that book. And it was how I understood at the moment what God was, what nature, what's our planet about, what am I about? There's a poem about the last rhinoceros and the elephants. And some of these, they were, divinely guided to come through my heart, because I believe that peace is possible, and it starts with us. And our bodies are incredible, divinely designed physicality, multidimensionalities. We've got a spirit, we have a soul, and it's guiding you and your family and friends in their own way. And it's not always your way, as some of you may realize, that you are changing, you want to change and evolve. And sometimes your children, your spouses, your partners, it's not their time. But when you embody that peace within you, that energy that you are, that love that you are, and because of the fractal energy of the entire universes of the universes, it radiates out. And you don't have to teach anything. Just be in that place of love. And loving yourself, it's so important. And when you find that joy, doing the dishes, washing floors, things that you find boring or just, you don't like it. The other day, it's not that I don't like picking raspberries, but I spent an hour and a half picking little tiny raspberries off my bush in the backyard. And I just practiced my mindfulness breathing and just breathing in and out and just being grateful for the soil and these raspberry bushes to provide me, one, with food, two, being out in the sunshine and the fresh air, and then three, ended up with gifts that I've given to family and friends because I can and I love to share. And so that was a practice for me. And I must admit, it takes practice. And you just start with a minute at a time. Set your timer during your day, at your office. A math teacher went to Plum Village for 3 weeks several years ago. And he came home with such joy and a smile on his face when he went into his high school math classroom. And the students were going, what happened? Why are you so happy? And he didn't teach about Buddhism. He didn't teach all that of what he learned at the Plum Village retreat. But he just felt the joy and the love that mindfulness breathing brought him. And what he did with his math students, he had one student set the timer, and every 15 minutes, the student was to clap his hands. And everybody in the class stopped, and they would just do mindful breathing for a minute and just focus, concentrate on that breath. And what happened was that those students they did a rise and shine with their academics, and they surpassed the other classes. And he didn't change what he taught or how he taught. And that probably, 1 minute for an hour and 6, maybe 5 hours. So, do the math. He didn't take that much time. And it made such a difference with these students because all of a sudden they were able to focus on math. And what is it in your life that you need more focus on? And there's all these skill sets and tools that I've been sharing and the others on the Jaja Summit have shared. Take them all and use them where you can in your daily life. And just see if anybody starts looking at you funny or going, oh, like what's different about you? Did you change your hair? Are your clothes different? There's something different about you. And then you can explain, what you've done to make a difference in your life, because that will make a difference in all those around you. It's such a loving gift that you can give. So this poem is called Arrogance and Ignorance. And I think I wrote this back in 2020. And I was thinking about how humanity is arrogant in some ways and ignorant in others. And they both affect us. We can be arrogant in our choices and not care about the others when we are all brothers and sisters, every one of us. We are humanity. And where is the humanity in what we're doing? Are they conscious decisions that are coming from our essence heart, linked with our intellect, logic, awareness, conscience, that will come with the genuine humane human? And as we take those steps, we become that. And then the ignorance, there's so much we don't know. And as we, I think, tap into our essence hearts, our spirit guides for some people, however you get that, those gifts of awareness. And we do get it from each other, because that is what we're doing. We're reflecting off each other. Sometimes it's a reflection of, is that something for me to think about, for me to act on? And sort of to be, those people are a catalyst, or they are encouragers to, oh yeah, that's what I do. I want more of that. And there's a spirit guide called Alcazar. And when you're in that space of appreciation, love, gratitude, and your guidance, and you get those little thoughts that tell you to pick up the phone or read this page on a book or take that book off the shelf. That's your guidance talking to you. We come with earth guides, every one of us. We are not alone. We are not alone. And Alcazar would say, thank you for this guidance. Bring me more of this. So if it's different kind of abundance, the wealth of wisdom, could be finances, different things. Thank you, and bring me more of this. The universe hears you. And of course, it's always divine timing. And so you may not get it tomorrow. And for some people, it's taken 10 or 20 years to get, or longer. So this is of arrogance and ignorance from the universe calls. Empowered ones longing to know our deeper beginnings. Consciousness evolving, bringing forth keys to open the mysteries of our true past. Are we afraid, still asleep, surviving, ignorant, or comfortable in the restrictions we choose? Opportunities to leap into that new knowledge. Can we know now? What prepares us for this evolutionary change? Our love, our compassion, our curiosity to seek more? How does the awareness of our history affect us now, as we create upon creation for more peace within? Back to our arrogance, to ignorance. Is that an excusable reason? Is that infinite tolerance or patience? We ease into grace for our current understanding, way of being, of intolerance, ignorance, and arrogance. In our comfort of knowing and complacency, we find the great puzzles of our existence. If we know all this, then what is the purpose? Are we in integrity? Is it a connection to nature, to the earth, but just a twinkle of a light that shines far beyond where we can see or imagine? No, we don't need to fully understand the details, but living in the micro is all we need. The earth is tangible. The flowers we can see, feel, and smell. time is an illusion. An idea beyond our daily lives. Do we care? We feel our senses fulfilling our souls like a thread, a root penetrating into the earth and connecting us and our soul, seen and unseen, magnificent and beautiful, like the Northern Lights. July 1st, 2020. And just to repeat my gift offer, there's a poetry sample, there's a quaking aspen meditation where you just sit and watch the aspen tree shaking. And also the 10 top gifts, tips your gut buddies will love you for. And the VIP is a natural harmony course. And also there's a natural stress and a team stress PDF for you to enjoy. So thank you again, Jaja, and fellow summit participants with all your wise wisdoms. And my email, if you want to connect with me, is rosiesjoy11@gmail.com. Namaste to you all, and loving blessings to all of you.